Okay, so Assalamualaikum and good afternoon, everyone. So we move on to the next chapter. Okay, I'll just start recording. Okay, good. So the next chapter is on functions. So remember your test one will cover, or your test will cover until this chapter. Okay. So function is basically, it is a script file. But instead of regular script file, the function takes an input and give output. Okay, the purpose of using function is you can use it multiple times and it is hiding operations inside it. So you don't have to know what is happening inside the function. What you all need to know is what are the inputs to feed in this function and what are the outputs. Okay, basically the function, they hide the implementation, how the thing works. So when you do the main coding, it will appear neater. Okay, so that you don't have small codes where you can actually encapsulate all these codes into function. Okay, we will see this today in this lecture. Okay, so we have done with this assignment, repetition, decision. All these are covered in the previous lecture. And we are moving on to function and command. Okay. Okay, so what is a program file? It's a M file that, hold on, that contains a program. So there are two types of program file. One is script file, another one is function file. So today we are going to use, we can start creating function today. Okay, but before that, let me just show you. Before I go to the next one. Where should I? Before that, I want to show you something using my okay. If you look at your MATLAB code, okay, let me just show you using the command window. So you have sine x.
Doctor, I think your screen is black, Doctor.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much for letting me know. Should I do? Hold on. Let me just stop sharing. Hold on. Then after that, I'll share. Just now I shared the Microsoft PowerPoint. So to share the screen. What now? Can you see my command window?
Yeah, Doctor. Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay. So I just want to show you, want to share with you about the built-in function in MATLAB. Okay, we have many built-in functions. So for example, sine, when you, let's say for example, sine 0, you will return a value 0. Okay, so what is happening inside sine, we don't know. Okay, when you type dot sine, okay, they'll give you details about this trigonometric function, sine of arguing radians, means that it must be, hold on. Okay. So this is the details details about this function sign. You can also go to this MATLAB code. Let me close this one. Okay, type sign. Okay, so it says here that sign is a built-in function, right? So you can do sign, like for example, just now I said sign 0 is 0, sign pi will return almost a 0 value because the pi is not exactly the accurate pi value. Okay, so you can do all these things. Why don't you try sphere? Okay, doc sphere. There is a built-in function in MATLAB, which is sphere. So basically, if you type sphere with n, I think n is the radius of the sphere. I'm not sure. So you can have for example, sphere. So that you can just type sphere first. Type sphere. Okay. So if you look here, if you go to your MATLAB and you type the type sphere, you can have the detailed codes for this built-in sphere here, for this function sphere. Okay, so it requires a parameter and all the details are written here. Okay, so some built-in function, you can actually see the code. I think the sign you can't see because it is not written in MATLAB. Perhaps it's in C. I'm not sure. But for sphere, you can see the details, right? Okay, so you can just try out. So what happened if I just put sphere, will they return? Okay. But I did not put any value. So, okay. So by default, I think it's all 1. Okay, if you look at my figure 1, can you see my figure 1?
Yes, doctor.
So in this, I just type the command sphere and then it pops up a figure which shows the sphere with the diameter. Perhaps the diameter is 1, 0, so 2. Okay, I'm not sure. You have to check the code again. All right. So okay, these are the built-in functions that you can see in MATLAB. One, you can see the code, and others perhaps it's hidden. Okay, can't really see it. Okay, let's go back to the slide. So in this slide, basically it is just telling us that for script or the typical .m file and the function, the difference is that for script file, basically both scripts and functions allow you to reuse sequences of commands by storing them in program files. Okay. In terms of the program, the script has fixed variables and function it is more flexible and easily extensible program. For script, you can't accept input and output, and function you can accept input output from the main program. For script, you can have a workspace, which I will show you later, the base workspace. You have seen this the previous lecture, but for function, they have their own function workspace. Okay, this one we have seen. Okay, let's build your own function. Okay. Okay, this one I have shown you earlier. Okay, the sphere function is stored as a function m file. but it's provided by MATLAB. Studying these functions may help you understand how to program better functions yourself. Okay. Now let's look at user-defined functions. So I have mentioned two types of function, right? One is built-in, and the second one is user-defined function. So user-defined function, it gives you more flexibility because you actually create the function file. You can actually design what kind of function that you want it to be. Okay. So how do you want to create the function file? First, user-defined functions are stored as separate env files. Once created, it is available in the command window and MATLAB script. To use them, they must be in the current directory. So since I am using the online version, so it will be automatically saved in the current directory. But if you are using the MATLAB desktop or the one that you downloaded, make sure that you save it in the current directory. Current directory as how you want to run the main file later on. Okay. Now let's look at the MATLAB code. The MATLAB. There are two ways you can create function file. First, you can go to new and click on function here, fx, or you can go to something. Yeah, or you can, if you don't want to use this way, just wait. Okay. So if you click that function file, it will give you some sort of template. This is the function, and these are the 2 or 3 or more than these outputs are written. Depends on how your function is going to be. Untitled2 is the name of your function. If you notice, this untitled2 is the same name as your M file. All right. And these are the two input variables that it accepts. After that, the operations are conducted below this function. Right? Now, if I do not want to use this function, I can still create my MATLAB file, a MATLAB function file, by simply typing function. Okay, function. For example, if I want to return the value of, okay, for example, this function is add numbers between C and D, for example. Okay, so the name of my function now is add numbers. Okay, you can try doing this in the MATLAB. So what does add numbers do? For example, you have int equals to C plus D. See? Okay, this is just a simple example of how to create function file. This name of this function is add numbers. So when you want to save this function, make sure you save it as add numbers. Add numbers. Okay, add number 2. Okay, because previously I have created one at okay at numbers 2. Save it again. So you have two file and the function name as the same name. Then you can go to the command window, call in this function by saying that, for example, y equals to add first 1, 2. Okay, so y equals to 3. So note that I did not put and here because for function, if you have only one function in this file, you don't necessarily need to put an and at the end of the function.